What have I done again? Now, buddy, right now we're in the cockpit of a very beautiful airplane, which is, of course, the DHC-6 Twin Otter plane. Yes, the plane that can fly anywhere, even on water, as you can see. Well, how's that possible? Obviously, this is a float plane, so it's got floats on. Yes, the Twin Otter in the float version. A plane that you can often see flying around in places like the Maldives, the Caribbean, fancy watersome places where you can't really build an airport like this airport here. And well, these planes, you know, they do make a lot of sense. Let's go take off with this beautiful airplane. Come on. You are a Twin Otter. Flying catamaran. It's behaving a little weird. Come on, take off, please. Come on. Oh, don't crash into the wall. Come on, okay. I'm having a few issues with this amphibian plane. I have no idea why it's not working. Okay. All right, that's already worked very well. I mean, yes, the float design that these planes have is quite amazing. Let's get that landing gear out because, yes, this is quite amphibian friendly. Jeez, why does this plane fly like a mess? Oh, my lord. Yeah, you can even land this airplane on land. Well, it is true. This plane is an airliner, right? But the question does arise, well, why can't we make jet airliners be on floats? And today, let's go ahead and answer that question because we're going to do this. Everybody, why don't we fit a 737 with some floats? And I'm going to take the original, model of the floats that this Twin Otter has. Realize that, if you put the original one to the big 737, you're going to have to resize the actual floats and make them quite 3 times bigger. And just like that, technically, we have our new landing gear. I mean, that's kind of the cool idea of these floats, that they're a little modular, right? Instead of having your normal landing gear, you can just put floats on this airplane. And, oh, this plane does fly, like literally there's no physics behind it now. And no need to worry about anything. You can still operate this airplane on land. A little bit of an airliner-friendlier idea, if you compare it to the usual amphibian concepts. I mean, we talked about the Beriev amphibian jet airliner, and that failed miserably. We also talked about once trying to mod a 737 to be able to go on water by removing the landing gear and practically sealing the airframe from water entering, which is something that's very easy because all these airplanes are quite leak-free anyway because they are built to be pressurized. But I guess this is a bit of a better idea, and so I already have the new model. And somebody welcome aboard what have I done again? Our special airplane, obviously, as you can see, this is the floats taken just from the Twin Otter airplane. There's something wrong with the landing gear animation, but I think that landing gear down, get that landing gear down, please. Because of course, this needs to be amphibian, our little concept. Our plane needs to be able to go off on land as well. And so, everybody, here we are at this beautiful runway, quite the usual habitat for the 737, and let's hope that this works. Come on, full power, take off. Oh yeah, all right, now the usual practice of taking off this airplane. Something, I guess this build would be theoretically possible. Something's wrong with the landing gear. I don't know why that is. I'm having a little bit of issues with the steering that I literally just took over here from the Twin Otter. I guess these little wheels are not very effective in steering such a large airliner, so that's something I have to improve, but that doesn't matter. I would like to take off quite soon. This video is a little out of control. Okay, steering might be a bit of it. Shut up. I shall try again. What I'm very much realizing is already how effective the performance of this airplane doesn't really reach speeds very quickly, probably because I haven't set the landing gear up very well, but also operating such an airliner would be quite harsh. I mean, this airplane would go very slow, even in the air. We have a lot of drag here. The airflow is completely broken, like 180 knots, and only at that speed this airplane will go off. Damn, this airplane is an aerodynamic nightmare now. I really like that. We need a 200 knots, and we can't barely climb. Take a look at that. Now we can put that landing gear up, and now this plane is in flying mode, but also in water mode. We could land this airplane on water now. I really want to do that. Obviously, I mean, as you just saw, we need at least 180 knots to fly this airplane, which will also mean that we're going to touch down really fast. This probably will be like a Concorde-style landing, but I mean, we are flying. It would technically work, I guess, if you were to put on floats that are quite almost as big as the fuselage itself. I mean, you could house passengers in there. They just have to lay down or something, but hey, Not bad. All right, then. I guess we've got the vast ocean here. And I guess we shall use it as a runway surface. That's the nice thing about, having such an airplane. As a floater, you're going to be able to land anywhere you would like. As you can see, I even removed the main landing gear so we can see inside of the cabin, which is quite strange. Everybody, now it's go time. Let's take a look and see if we can land here. Come on. I mean, this idea would be great for passengers. Genuinely would be. I mean, imagine this opportunity of not having to, land at an airport. You could just land at a beach or something like we're doing now. Yes, you'd save a lot of money, because you don't have to pay all the airport fees. And I guess the kids learn to swim very quickly. Also, I like float planes because they have a lot of safety in them. As long as you're above a body of water, you can land anywhere and even do an emergency landing in case, the engines fail. Like in Sully, he would have been happy about having such a feature. Let's maybe go ahead and land now. All right, we've landed. It's time now to reverse. An opportunity we still have. Everybody, we have landed our float plane and we are stopping quickly. We have stopped in no time. I have no idea how this would look in real life. I guess those engines would suck a lot of that water in, especially on reverse. But take a look at that, everybody. We have just landed our airplane. I like to see that with the parking brake out, which I guess would, release the anchor. And everybody, I'm a genuine genius. Now, the problem would definitely be exiting the aircraft. I guess you could get a boat that could act as like a stairs. Or also you could do the Ryanair method. And so everybody could exit the airplane. I like to see that. And I guess now it's time for the trickiest bit. Let's go ahead now and take this airplane off. Good. Now, parking brake released, as in anchor released, and so it's time to genuinely get going. Now, I'm not quite sure about the steering opportunities we have. I don't think there are many. I'm right now fully into the rudders, and we are not steering at all. I guess something we could do, though, is use differential thrust. There we go. By just thrusting to the right, we are able to actually steer very, very well. I just want to face the open ocean. Let's go full power here. There you go. That's good. So that's pretty good steering. I like that. All right, now it's time to get going. Those flaps should be at 15. All right. Now, I'm not quite sure how scientifically accurate this is. I have no idea how the Simulator X-Plane simulates buoyancy and, the theories of displaced water. I mean, that's a lot of weight we got there. And you really do need a lot of that floater space in order to displace all that. Now, let's go and take off. And I guess we are meeting a little bit of an issue. Why are we only at 40 knots? We are a very slow airplane. I guess something I could help is changing the weight and balance, making this plane lighter in the first place, like that. Very, very low weight. But also by moving all people in the back so that we've got a little bit more leanage towards the tail. There we go, just like that. I just want to make this airplane a little bit less bouncy. That's actually helped quite a bit. There we go. We are accelerating very, very well. I guess an issue that we do have is missing engine power, because this plane is in no way somewhat accelerating to rotatable speeds, as we're way too slow. I guess we need, how about 4 engines? I mean, this would make sense why the Berryf has so powerful engines. It's very faster. I mean, we all know how much resistance there is in water. All right, there you go. Now fully taking off. Let's try this once again. Little power. Yes, for some reason I cannot make this plane naturally take off. You would just need so much power to get this airplane lifted off into the air. For some reason I can't naturally do that. The only way I can make it done is by putting 500,000 pounds of thrust per engine of power, which is way too much. But come on, I'd be happy to make this airplane very powerful. Let me go ahead and conduct some more testing. Yeah, let's maybe test the floatability of this airplane. I mean, so far we've been running on very low weight. So let's go ahead and first add some passengers in the front. Oh yeah, okay. Now let's add some passengers in the middle and the tail section, so we're all completely full. And also let's get full on cargo. Not bad at all. I mean, so far we are 100,000 pounds above maximum takeoff weight anyway. Actually, this airplane seems to stand quite well, even with some storm that I've put in the simulator. No problem. It turns out, yes, these pods are quite big enough to keep this plane afloat in any weight. All right, and now we've entered the matrix. Why is this aircraft carrier moving on land? I have no idea. Well, wait, I very much struggled with this airplane. That is definitely true. For some reason, I can't, make it take off. I guess the resistance in water is generally so high, you need a whole lot of power in order to take off from it. It might also not be the best solution to have pods this big and so heavy. I guess that could be the issue. Let's maybe go ahead and, I have no idea what this is, actually, but this should be interesting. Go full power and release the brakes. Now, good. Perfect. Yeah, I like to see that. The good thing is, in a normal aircraft carrier, even a failure would have meant that we would definitely survive, because we would land in the water. Everybody, what a brilliant one. This definitely didn't make any sense at all, this project I just did, but Sully would have definitely liked it. Well, the rule is, if you cannot build it in the simulator, it probably can't be built in real life. Oh, I just wanted to make a beautiful landing, actually. So chances are quite low that we're ever going to see 737 on floats. I mean, this thing at 30,000 feet would definitely not work. Like, I'm generally just waiting for the second we start to stall out and die. So, but thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. And a special thanks goes out to my members, my supporters, Guns Killer, R27, James Duram, That Dude, Anime Gods of Gaming, Derek, Insider Plane, Nishijutsu Fighter, Professional Jamal, Ryland Williams, and New the York. You've got beautiful names.